Hello YouTube, it's the Slot Professor here. Just got off a live stream with a couple of clowns in Chicago, Indiana area, and doing a video on, doing what I do, but they don't understand the game. They don't know how to play. They don't know half of what I know, I promise you that. And they're probably never going to find out either. They don't want to listen, for one. And number two, they're not going to be around long enough to worry about it. They don't know how to handle their bank account. They don't know how to handle the IRS. And they get all this, they want to go out and do this thing for a living, but they don't want to study the law and learn how to protect the wealth if they do make wealth. So they're just working their ass off right now for the IRS. This is all they're doing. Okay? Because if they ever accumulate any wealth, and, they're going to go without a job for years, and they're not going to be able to prove their income. Okay, they're not going to be able to do a lot of things. They're going to be putting money into a bank account, not knowing the law and knowing what really happened to them. If they make more deposits than they're supposed to, or someone from the legal society comes after them and starts attacking them, they don't know how to defend themselves. Well, I spent years and years studying the law. This is during and while I was, professional gambling. Now, that at some point, they're going to take every machine, and there's going to be no advantage whatsoever. So you better be prepared for that. And there's no, you don't prove your income. You don't have any employment history for years. It's going to be difficult for you to even get a job going back into the public and trying to do work for somebody who's going to want to look up your work history, and you can't tell them that you were playing slot machines for 8-10 years. Okay? You better have a backup. You better be able to, start a business or do something like that on your own without having to worry about having to go get a job from somebody. But why would you be wanting to work for anyone when there's so many people out there that want to work for you? For peanuts. Okay? You can pay them nothing, and they do a great job. Now, Americans, they don't do a very good job here because they're lazy. They're entitled. They think they're not the best employees to have. But there's companies overseas. You can hire a person for $3 an hour, and they do 10 times the work as any American. But anyways, just a little update on the slots. We did pretty well last week. We made about roughly 8,000, somewhere in there, which wasn't a bad week. But we work together. We're a team. When I'm having a bad day, he's usually having a good day, and vice versa. I'll have a good day and he'll have a bad day, but in the end, we end up still making money. But we use the advantage properly. We're not there to make $10, $15 here and there. That's not what we're doing. We use the advantage to its fullest. That's why we're so successful. That's why we don't fear the competition. They make way too many mistakes. They're constantly making mistakes. Yeah, they can't control themselves. They got to gamble on something. They're going to end up living under a bridge and addicted to drugs and gambling. That's what I see most guys that think they can come and do this, and they don't understand the rules. They don't understand how this game is played, and don't understand who the casino is. The casinos are vicious. I've seen some absolute crazy stuff go on in the casino, and you can't put it past they're capable of doing some absolutely crazy, you could even call it criminal activity, these casinos. But who's policing the casino? Where I'm at, there's a guy, he works for the tribe. The tribe pays him. He's the gaming officer. I mean, you're going to go try and tell him, hey, this machine ain't paying correctly? What are you going to tell you to go jump in the river? There's nothing you can do about it. But the beauty of this game is you gotta just learn how to play it and play it better than anyone. And I've competed with men that had great, huge bankrolls, and I didn't have a huge bankroll. But yet I still made it. I still made money. Not as much money as they were because they were gambling. But they also, one of the guys I know, he had over $1 million he's made on these slots by getting lucky and gambling, and Now he's been losing, and now he's down money, and now he's fixing to lose his gas station. You know? So look, even the best at this game, they lose their bankroll. They go broke. But I mean, I've seen it. I've seen it for years, that the guys that think that the machines aren't going to change, that the machines don't get old and just keep taking money. That's how the machine works. The machine is made to take in money over the life of the machine. And some machines are going to be, set tighter than others. And when they realize that all these people are coming in here and trying to get an advantage in the casino, don't think that they're going to take the advantage and do something with it. Because they already started. And they're just looking to get all their money back. And they did. The last time they took out every machine, it was 06. They took out almost every bonus machine, like nationwide. I mean, you couldn't find 1 or 2 bonus machines in 3 casinos for 4 states. They took them all out. So there was no way to make money. But what I do, I went and I had a CDL. I went and just drove truck again. And while I was driving the truck, I could check every casino along the way and make sure that, there was nothing too crazy where I could get out of the truck and go back to just playing slots. But these guys that think they can just come and do this, and they're sadly mistaken. First off, they don't understand the competition. I mean, if I come there and there's guys in there that are trying to compete with me, I just take down every single machine in the building, and I just keep it white. I keep it scraped. So when they come in there and they don't find nothing, there's tons of machines and they don't find nothing, they just keep leaving. They just leave. They go somewhere else because they can't make no money. And if they decide to hang around, they're not going to make any money, because we're just going to keep doing it. We're going to take down every single advantage way before they even just think it's a play. Because that's the nature of the beast. You've got to compete. And these guys are just cutting their own throats. They're teaching a bunch of people that don't know anything. And they're not caring about what happens to these people when they go broke and they're living under the bridge addicted to drugs and gambling. They don't care. They could give a shit rat's ass less. They don't realize what they're doing is dangerous. I'm very careful about who I teach. I can't teach anybody that has a vice of any kind whatsoever. If they drink, they can't do it. If they gamble, they can't do it. And most people, they can't do those 2 simple things. And they can't hang on to money when they're in the casino, because they got to go to the blackjack table. They got to go somewhere. They got to do something. They've got to keep gambling. They cannot control themselves. They have a vice. And that's the death of the, you can go in and make extra money if you have a job. But boy, if you take this serious and you want to go and make a living at it, first thing you better do is study the law. Number 2, you better, make sure you don't have any vices. Number 3, you better work hard, because this takes time and it takes effort. It takes extreme effort. You've got to, there were times where I had to work 12, 15 hours a day every single day and only make a little bit of money. And some days it's going to be like that. And some people just can't do that. They don't even want to work 8 hours. They don't even want to work 6 hours. Okay? And this, what I do is work. It's not even funny. But me going in there and showing you play by play and all this like they're doing, they're getting views and they're making YouTube money, and hey, more power to them, but they don't realize the danger that they're causing other people, because people think, oh, look, these guys are out there, they're doing it, they're making money. So this person doesn't know any better. They go out there and they try to make money, they lose, they end up getting addicted to gambling because they think that there's some kind of advantage they can take advantage of. They don't work hard. They don't study. They don't know the machines. They don't pay attention when they're in the casino. And more than likely, they're going to end up broke, living under a bridge, and addicted to drugs and gambling, or just gambling. I'm not saying that the drugs, but there's a lot of drugs in the casino. These people aren't friendly. There's a lot of pitfalls to go walking in the casino, just walking in there. There's danger. But to do this for a living, you better prepare yourself, because this is hard work. This ain't even funny. And there's tons and tons and tons of competition because of clowns like this fool. But I don't worry about those clowns, because they don't know the game. they don't know how to play, and they make huge mistakes on the regular basis. I was just watching this clown on a play that I would play every single time. You can win 7 out of 10. I even tried to leave a message, hey, that was a play that you just passed up, but you guys are good at making mistakes. He didn't want to listen. They banned me from the chat. Which was a huge mistake. I was trying to help the guy. He seemed like a fine fellow. It didn't look like he was drunk or anything. He might be one that's worth, having as a partner, because that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for people that want to work hard and want to make good money and don't have a vice and not going to just make the money and give it over to the IRS. I can teach them a number of things that they don't have any clue about, and mainly the law. I'm versed in the law. I understand the common law, the UCC, and legalese and all that nonsense. But there's no law you have to learn Chinese, Japanese, Cantonese, Hindonese, or legalese. No law says you have to pick up a pen and write down anything. There's plenty of law out there that people just don't know. They got to go hire a lawyer. And hey, look, the lawyer's, he's loyal to the Bar Association, not you. He's an officer of the court. So if you think he's on your side, he's just there to make you a deal, get you through, and you convict yourself. You go up there and you plead not guilty, or you plead guilty after he tells you, hey, let's take this deal. You start doing that with the IRS, and then they're going to just milk you for everything you've got. So whatever wealth you do decide to build, and if you work your ass off all your life, you're just not going to be able to protect it. And they'll come after you. They're not ashamed to go after a legal person. Legal person's a fiction, and you believe you're that legal fiction, so they don't care. And the Heavenly Father ain't going to do nothing to them about it because you believe you're that legal fiction. You believe you're a dead entity. Yeah, dead corporation. They write your name in all caps. That's called nom de gore. It means, dead corporation. Go look at the graveyard and all the capital letter names that are written on all those headstones. There's a reason they're written in all capital letters. Because they're dead. Okay? But you get mail all the time in the mail with all caps. It's written. They don't write my name like that. When I get mail, it's written in the proper Christian appellation of the word. Because I don't truck with that. I don't deal with legal fictions. Turns out I'm an idiot in legalese. I don't have to learn their language if I don't want to. And you can't do nothing. You can't prosecute a retard. Okay? Because the retard didn't know he was doing anything wrong. Okay? But look, if you're an idiot in legalese, that just means you're a private person. But people think an idiot is, the town clown or somebody who doesn't know what's going on or something. That's not what it's spoken in Latin, and that's where you're going. You're going to a Latin courtroom where they're speaking Latin, and you don't have any clue that they're speaking Latin. Okay, and you tell them you're an idiot, and they know what that means, okay? They can't prosecute you. So watch the judge tell the man to leave the courtroom. In fact, leave the building. He doesn't want any idiots in his courtroom. And turned around and said to the whole audience, is there any more idiots in here? And nobody said a word. And then he went right back to just doing what they do. Just a sausage factory. Just making money hand over fist day after day. Using the same 10 words to deceive everybody. You can go to court. It's boring. Sit there all day and just write down what words they're using, what comes out of their mouth. There's 10 words they use. Basically 10 words to control the whole town, the whole city. Yeah. Well, I know those words they use, and they can't use them against me like they do everybody else. So they tend to leave me alone. But look, there's a lot of things to learn before you become a slot professional or a professional gambler, period. And to think that someone can just go out there and do that, every Tom, Dick, and Harry can just get on there and see a machine and go up to it and play it when there's a certain number. Because the numbers are important, but they're not everything, okay? They're far from everything. But look, these guys, Jay Fructose, he's an absolute clown. This guy, he's incredible that he's teaching all these people, and he doesn't even care about the dangers, of teaching people this kind of stuff. Because he doesn't know their mannerisms. He doesn't know whether they have vices. He doesn't know if they're addicted, highly addicted personalities. He's going to ruin more people's lives than he's going to help. I promise you that. If I followed him around wherever he went, he wouldn't make a damn nickel. I'll tell you that right now. I would put him out of business as fast as I could. And don't think I won't run into this clown on several occasions. But I have manners, you know. That's one of the main rules of this game is you better be nice. You better have manners. Those that don't have manners with me, they're going to find out real fast. They're going to learn some. But look, what he's doing is, and these other guys are doing is very dangerous. But look, you know, there's ways of doing this where you can actually make a living. You don't have to work if you don't want to, but there's a lot of rules to it. And until you learn those rules, I suggest, hey, go and work for somebody else or start your own business. There's too many people out there that want to work for you. You don't have to work for them. They'll work for you. And for nothing. So why would you not start your own business and just have other people working for you for the rest of your life? Instead of you working for them for the rest of yours and not having nothing. And the price of bread going to $19, by the way, so just get ready for that. Eggs, they'll be $65 soon. So you better find you a good job to work for somebody else. You better have some high skills, some talent. Make yourself valuable, okay? Or you're going to be just treated like trash. That's all. That's how this game works. I'll tell you, there's 2 rules to this place. Love your Heavenly Father with all your heart, mind, and body. And love your neighbor as you love yourself. Be generous. Those are 2 things that, I mean, I've searched all over and I can't find any of those people. They don't love their Heavenly Father. They love money more than anything. But money isn't what makes this world go round. It has nothing to do with it. It's just those 2 simple principles. Love your Heavenly Father, the one who created you, created all things, and a seahorse and a whale. Okay? That's what we're talking about. A guy, he created you. You are the AI. Your body repairs itself. If you put food and clean water in your body repairs itself. You are the AI. And talking about all this powerful AI and everything, you are the AI. You're the pinnacle of creation. You were specially designed. Individually designed. And you have talents that you're not utilizing. Instead, you're going to work someday or every day for somebody else and not using any of your talents. But there's a famous saying, if you love what you do every day, then you won't work a day in your life. Well, people are lazy and they don't want to do the work. So, hey, look, it's been great. I mean, I'm having a great time doing this. I haven't had I've had 2 losing weeks as long as I have my partner with me. We've had 2 losing weeks in 2 years where we lost money for the week. It wasn't a lot, okay? The last loss we took was pretty hefty, but we had enough to weather it. We put it on the books and we just pay it off. As we hit other hand pays, we just put it back towards what we lost. That's it. And we just keep doing it. But yeah, keep tuning in and please like and subscribe. And yeah, go to these other channels and buy what they're doing for me is they're showing me the machines that are in all these places all over the country. So they just help me. Because if I don't have a spot, I can just go right where they just showed me where all these machines are. And then I play them way before they're ever going to play them. They won't touch them at the numbers that I play. They won't. They won't play them. So they'll never get a play. Now, unless they're really lucky and I'm sleeping or something. But usually I have a partner in the casino when I'm sleeping. So look, it's going to be very difficult to do this. But hey, you're welcome to. But later on in the channel as I get more subscribers, so like and subscribe. And the more views that I get, the more information I'm gonna give, you know, really helpful information if you decide you really want to do some of this. And you know, you can start out part-time until you build your bankroll, but you know, it's important to have a bankroll because if you don't, you're not going to be able to play this game and use the advantage that you get from these slots properly. Because they're not using it properly, I promise you. They have no clue what they're doing. They're looking to make $10, $15 on a play. That's what they're looking. From what I've seen. You know, they're hoping they win on a bonus. That's not how this game is played. But look, if you want to learn more about what I do and how I've been successful over 25 years and how I've taught others, you know, several others to make hundreds of thousands of dollars in a short period of time, 2, 3, 4 years, okay, and consistently making over $100,000 a year doing this. But look, if you want to learn this, then you're going to tune in, you're going to like, you're going to subscribe, you're going to start asking questions in the comments, okay? So I look forward to all your viewers, and this is just an update for today. And yeah, I'm about to head in, go to the casino. You know, I like to be nice. I don't like to record in there, and they don't like it either. They don't want you in there recording. But information is what you need. It's not just you seeing the bonuses, okay? That has nothing to do with this game, because they're in there, okay? You're going to need to know what machines, of course, but you know, I can't give those out because I don't know who you are, and I don't know what kind of vices you have. I don't know, you know, what kind of tendencies you have, whether you have a drinking problem, a drug problem. None of this is going to work out well for any of those things, if you have any of those things. You know, I don't want to see you giving all your earnings over to the IRS, or your winnings over to the IRS, because they'll take it and sit in seconds and then get you in a lot of trouble. But anyways, there's a lot of pitfalls of this game. But if you follow, there's 9 basic principles that you take when you walk through the door of the casino. And you got to have everyone with you. It's like putting on the full armor of God before you even enter the building. And that's kind of what I do. But like and subscribe and tune in, and yeah, please watch. I need the views, and I'd like to get to 1,000 subscribers. I'll start doing live streams where we can interact, and I'll answer a lot of your questions. But anyways, thanks again, YouTube, and please like and subscribe, and tune in to I believe his name is my partner's channel is Midas Touch Slots, so you can go and tune into him and like and subscribe, and he'll be making videos, and we'll soon start doing podcasts together. As soon as I get 1,000 subscribers, all y'all will be able to call in and talk and ask questions, and there'll be a live chat, and I'll answer questions out of the live chat. But yeah, just like and subscribe and tune in, and I'll probably send you another update tomorrow. I appreciate all you guys watching. Thank you.